Hi, it's me. I'm here today to film a video about some of my favorite products of all time. I kind of went category by category and just kind of picked things that I thought were just the best formulas, the best colors, decent prices, and just overall I have an entire tray of products, a lot of goodies in here, and I'll try and kind of go through each quickly. So I'm going to start out with skincare. So one of my favorite serums that I've been using is Ole Hendrickson Truth Serum Collagen Booster, and this serum is just really good. I always feel like it absorbs really quickly, so you have to rub it in really fast and pat it in, and I always feel like my skin just feels tighter and just healthier after using this, and I've noticed that my skin's just a lot better overall, and highly recommend this. It's a little pricey, but if you buy like a value pack, you can get a pretty good deal. Like I bought this with a little mini pack of the wipes, and I think that was $16 opposed to twice the size is like $48 by itself. So look for value packs if you're interested in something like this. The next item I've been using is Clinique's Dramatically Different Moisturizing the Gel. So the gel is a newer product by Clinique. They've always had the lotion for years, but this is just a really good moisturizer. I've never felt like my skin was dry during the day. I do have more slight oily to normal skin, so I don't have an issue with dryness, but this hasn't made my skin worse. I feel like it just makes it better. My next product, I'll talk about primers. So it's kind of a tie. I really like the Professional by Benefit for pores and just for kind of creating like kind of a more silicone layer, and just overall just minimizing pores and just giving my foundation a good chance to look good. But for more of a overall excellent primer, I would have to say the Hourglass Veil Mineral Primer is really good. It has a little bit of SPF in it, but this one does a really good job of kind of toning down the redness and just making your skin look overall just really good. And it does kind of make you look a little bit paler than you are, but when you add your foundation, you'll kind of look the normal shade. And I'm actually wearing this primer today, and I mean, I've had my makeup on for at least 7-8 hours today, so I'm doing okay. And I went bowling, and bowling's a very intense sport. Surprise! I still have still look good. So one cool thing about this product is it is made in the USA. I always think that's kind of cool. But this is a really good primer. Up next for foundation, I have to say Too Faced Born This Way is one of my favorite foundations. The colors are just really good, and there's a decent amount to choose from. If Sephora doesn't have your shade, Too Faced and Ulta also have additional shades. But the formula of this is just really good. It's a definite medium to full coverage, which is is definitely like what I have to use, and this really does the job. It stays on pretty well, blends really easily, and it's just a really good foundation. I recommend it. I have like 4 different foundations that I cycle between, and I find myself just, when in doubt, I always go with the Born This Way. So now for concealers. I have a couple different categories of concealers. So I have hydrating under eye primer that I use, and it's Smashbox's Photo Finish Hydrating Under Eye Primer. And I bought this one because my concealer doesn't always stay under my eyes. I think I have slightly oily kind of lids and slight under eye, and this really helps to kind of lock in that foundation and make sure it stays. And you know, this lasts a really long time. I think it's like $20-something, but you get a decent amount and it lasts. Like, you barely need any. For normal, like my skin, my cat's pounding at the door. For normal skin tone concealer, I go with MAC's Pro Longwear Concealer. I find that it doesn't crease very easily, and it just, again, a lot of shades to choose from, and just a good formula, and I really like it. And I've tried a lot of concealers too, so recommend that one. And then for color correcting, I use 2 different color correctors. I use a peach for my under eyes, and I use a green for some of my redness. And so for peach, I kind of go in between Sephora's Bright Future corrector, and I have this in a peachy shade. Then I also have recently received a sample of Genesis concentrated color correcting drops, and I think this is really good too. And the sample size that I received was like an extraordinary value. I was just amazed when I got that in the mail. And those are both really good for just kind of making my under eyes kind of go away, because I have like the worst under eye circles. I might have to do a video on color correcting. And then for my green, I have recently started using Miracle's CC cushion and a 1 green, and it's fun. I think cushions are just a lot of fun. This is what it looks like. It's smaller than your normal cushion. I'm trying to think if I have any of those around. It's a lot smaller, but you don't need as much, and I find that when you pair this on top of the Hourglass and then you go in with your foundation, it just looks really good and looks really smooth in one tone, which is the goal. For setting powders, I think it's Besame's Brightening Violet Powder in Translucent is really good. Is it just me too? If you own this, let me know if you think it smells really good. Like, usually translucent powders don't have the best smell to it, or don't have any smell, but I have this in the violet color, and I find that this is really good for just kind of getting rid of some of that redness, and it's really cute too. It comes in a little plastic container. Let's see, up next, so for highlighters and bronzers, I had a hard time kind of picking and choosing. So for highlighters, I would have to go, or just kind of more of an all-over highlight, I would have to say Ambient Lighting. And I really like dim light and incandescent light, and the colors of these are just beautiful. And I ended up just buying the trio just because I didn't want to buy them each individually, and it was just slightly more cost effective to buy it that way, but I love all of them. For a true highlight though, I love MAC's Soft and Gentle. It's this beautiful kind of light pink peachy color, and it's beautiful. Let's see, you can like see, look how just with my finger how beautifully that goes on. I have to match. It's just a really beautiful highlight. And then for blush, this is a new color, and I got this as my Sephora gift, but NARS's Gululu, I think is how you pronounce it. And right now I just have a mini of it, but it's like this really pretty kind of, it's not like a red, but it's like a dark pink. And I would have to say one of my other favorite blushes from NARS is only in this Narcissus palette, but it's this beautiful, beautiful color right here, and it's like this mauve-y pink color, and it's just beautiful, and it's called Enthralled, and it's only available in this palette. I have to show you that again, but look at that. Look how pretty that is, and it wears beautifully too. I should say I just love that palette overall. I like that highlight. And then for bronzers, I really like Too Faced's Milk Chocolate Soleil and their Chocolate Soleil. So I use Milk Chocolate Soleil just kind of all over to kind of give me a little bit more color, where I use the Milk Chocolate Soleil, which is in this kind of darker color. I use that more as like a contour, more bronzing powder. And then if I'm not using Too Faced, I'm using Tarte's Park Avenue Princess bronzer. It's a pretty color. The formulas of all of those products are just really good, and I highly recommend it. Okay, what else do we have here? You know, I'm making my way through these products. So onto eyes. For eyeshadow primer, I use Smashbox's 24-hour primer. I've never had any issues with this. I've tried Smashbox's, I've tried Too Faced, I've tried Urban Decay's, and you know, I just like this one. I think it's one of the cheaper options, if I'm not mistaken, for like a Sephora brand, and it just works really well. Don't have any issues with super creasing or anything like that. So for eyeliner, I would have to say I love the Marc Jacobs Eyeliner Gel Crayon, and even though I think there are alternatives to this that are cheaper and still really good, I just think that this lasts really long and it's easy to apply. Like, even though other brands can kind of do a similar job to it, I think that it's a good one. So for mascaras, I am loving the Kevin Aucoin, the Essential Mascara. It's just beautiful. It's one of my favorite mascaras of all time. And so the applicator is like this curved wand, and when you like apply it, it just like makes your eyelashes just beautiful. There are fibers in here, and I find that when I'm applying it, sometimes like if I was just sitting here holding the brush over my vanity, I'll see a couple fibers fall off, but when I apply it to my eyelids, I don't see any fibers kind of falling off onto my face, so that's good. Then for eyeshadow palette, you know, this just has to be my palette of all time. I love my Naked 2 palette. It's so beautiful. I don't know why I have my brush in there still, but just look at these shades. I mean, you can tell I have just Verve right here. I guess I can flip it this way. See, Verve right here is my favorite color. I've actually almost purchased it as just an individual shade, but I really, really love my Naked 2 palette. And I'm actually the kind of person who, when I buy other palettes, I don't use them right away. Like, I want to use this one as much as I can before I start using one of those other ones, which, I mean, I don't know if I need to, but I kind of feel like when I have a palette this great, I should just use this one. Because I have three other palettes waiting in the wings. Then for lips, I've recently started getting into lips a little bit more. I used to just use kind of colored chapsticks. I like the Fresh brand. But for liquid lips, I've really been loving the Lancome Lip Lover. And how it works is you press this little button, and it's more of a liquid lip than a lipstick. And I have this beautiful color. I have it in 338. I don't think there's a color on it. And it's just this beautiful, beautiful color. And lip. And I find that it wears really long, and it just feels very smooth and silky, and it's just really good. So the last couple items I have are brushes. So of course, Beauty Blender, one of the best makeup inventions of all time. And then for foundation brush, I love my F80 by Sigma. I use this almost every day. If I'm not using this one, I am using my Morphe M439 brush, which is similar, it's just rounded, but they're both about, the Morphe's a little bit more dense, but still really good. But pretty much use this every single day. Wash it every single day, otherwise it gets gross. So just a tip, I usually wash my brushes that I use liquids with every day, where my powder brushes, I'll clean them just lightly, like take a liquid brush cleansing spray a paper towel, wipe a little bit of that off, and then just use it a little bit more. But for liquid brushes, you gotta clean those right away. For bronzing and contouring, I love the Tarte brush. I don't know the name of this brush. Usually they come printed on it, so I don't have to remember, but it's this beautiful brush. I bought it from Sephora. This is what it looks like. So when you're applying product, you can just sweep it. Then when you go and contour the rest of your face, it just gets everywhere that it needs to. It looks a little bit big, but it works really well. And then for powder, I use this one for overall setting. And this is the Real Techniques powder brush. And let me tell you, this brush was like $6 or $7. And it is amazing. And it's so, look how fluffy this brush is. It's like as fluffy as my cat. And it's just, it applies it all over the face super fast. Like, I remember I used to use Sigma's F10 brush to apply translucent powder, and it would take forever. Look at the difference. Yeah, so I highly recommend this brush. So I think that is all I have for products right now. But these are just some of my favorite products. I would have to say that I could only pick 3 of these products. I would pick my Naked 2 palette, my Hourglass palette, my Born This Way foundation and my Kevin Aquan mascara. I would pick these three. So I highly recommend all of these products. I've tried them and used them. I've tried a lot of other products too, and I just think these are the best. So I highly recommend these. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm working on kind of getting it timber. It's like dominoes on my vanity. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, let me know if you have any questions or want me to try anything. But okay, thanks. Bye.